Welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. The first 5 verses of the 37th Psalm, written by David, read, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord, do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday." These verses were penned by Israel's greatest king when he was near the end of his long life. The javelin Saul had hurled at him long ago had its point blunted against the unfeeling wall instead of in his chest, and the wicked, unhappy king was dust. Many another usurper and foreign enemy had had his try and spent his bolt, and David still lived and still was king. No doubt when lion, bear, mighty Goliath, and clever, treacherous Absalom were doing their utmost to destroy the prophecy Samuel had pronounced upon him so far in the past, he'd had his moments when it seemed this must surely be the end. But David had proven to be a man who could maintain his faith in God in the most desperate circumstances. Now that the years had fled, he could look back from the lofty perch only time and experience can give to summarize what he had learned of life and pass the lessons along, first to his fellow countrymen, and then through the means God used to preserve the message down to us. Fret not thyself because of evildoers. They are not all cut down the instant they meditate evil against saints, not when first they snatch up weapons to attack the righteous, or even as their schemes unfold. He said they shall soon be cut down. How long is soon? There is a question only God can answer, and in the case of each of David's opponents, the time and manner was varied. But when everything was settled, each with their dreams and schemes was withered. And he, though often forced to flee for his life and face alarms in the night, still stood unwounded, having yet to have a hostile hand laid on his person. In any case, as Christians, the fate of those who choose the dark road of selfishness should interest us less than the miraculous manner in which God uses all the circumstances of our lives, whether they have come to us by wholly natural means or through actual malice, to our benefit. The grand purpose for which God allows any or all of the things that come into our lives, if we choose to walk with him in the bright path, is to build character. We were created with a divine intention that we should reflect the glory and image of Jesus Christ in the world. We do that by aspiring to and receiving heavenly graces of love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith. Those things are no more useful to us than a new car would be if it's forever only parked in the driveway. Spiritual gifts and graces are meant to be used. Actually, they deepen and improve with use as we learn how to apply them to the challenges life brings us. In a very major way, the prosperity or failure of evildoers has nothing to do with the process of God using events and circumstances in this world to build our character, for he controls exactly the dosage of their activities that touches our lives. So let's look at the blessing part of the 37th Psalm. Delight thyself also in the Lord, they say. The term translated delight is from a Hebrew word that means something like, be like a delicate, refined lady who wants everything around her neat, orderly, clean, and tastefully positioned. The implication is that when these conditions are met, she feels her dainty best. It is God's way of saying we should not pick out the dark, ugly things going on around us and brood over them. It is our privilege to pull the veil of heavenly peace down over them so they do not distress our resting spirits, we being secure in the knowledge our God will bring to pass his purpose in it all. Have you talked to him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.
Are you a Christian who likes to read? If not, there's a whole world of Christian publishing out there that you're missing out on. I invite you to check out the Author's Corner podcast, where I talk to the latest Christian authors each week about their new book releases and what's coming next. So if you're ready to jumpstart your spiritual growth with the newest books and the authors who write them, check out the Author's Corner podcast with me, Roberta Foster.